Welcome to this week's archaeology news. My headline story is about a Neolithic quartz floor that's been discovered at the Piles Hill Double Stone Row on Dartmoor. Staying in Neolithic Britain, I also discuss the excavation of a Cursus on the Isle of Arran in Scotland, the only complete one to have been found so far. I also discuss the continued search for Cleopatra's tomb at Taposiris Magna in Egypt, only this time the investigation is underwater. And I talk about the discovery of two unusual Neolithic figurines at Ulucak Mound in Turkey. Quartz floor found at Megalithic site on Dartmoor. An excavation carried out at Piles Hill on Dartmoor has revealed an unexpected cobble-like flooring. Archaeologists working as part of a collaboration between Dartmoor National Park Archaeologists, ISCA Archaeology, our Upland Commons, the National Lottery Fund, Historic England and the Dartmoor Preservation Association were digging at the double stone row of Piles Hill to reveal more about this enigmatic structure. Dating to the late Neolithic or early Bronze Age, this megalithic site consists of two stone rows curving from east to west for 850 metres. There are around 40 stones in total, some standing and some recumbent, with a lot of vegetation covering those lying on the ground. This latest excavation has confirmed that holes found underneath the recumbent stones during a 2022 geophysical survey are in fact sockets, meaning the megaliths were once standing and not laid down intentionally. The group also discovered a cobble-like flooring made up mostly of white quartz, something further investigations revealed was not a natural feature. Experts think the ancients created it to enhance the setting of the double stone row. Further research will continue on samples extracted from the site, and it's hoped that funding will be obtained to re-erect the recumbent stones into their original standing positions so visitors can get a better impression of what the site looked like in prehistory. In the 1930s, a paved causeway was found at the Hurlers Stone Circles, also on Dartmoor, so the creation of specific surfaces alongside megalithic monuments is not unheard of in the area. I think that whatever role megaliths played in prehistoric societies, they were always part of landscapes packed full of monuments. A megalithic structure cannot be considered in isolation, but needs to be seen as part of a bigger picture. Unfortunately, in most places, very few such monuments survive. In Britain, there appears to have been a link between earthen, stone, and wooden structures, and many of these were so vast that it's not easy to comprehend their function, which takes us nicely into the next story. Neolithic Cursus discovered on the Isle of Arran. In August, archaeologists began excavating at a Neolithic Cursus at Drummadoon on the Isle of Arran. Known as the Torbeg Cursus, it was originally discovered during a LiDAR survey carried out by Historic Environment Scotland 5 years ago. A subsequent geophysical survey and small-scale excavation were then carried out in 2021. In Britain, more than 150 Cursuses have been identified. A Cursus is a rectangular earthen enclosure with an unknown function, some of which stretch for several kilometres. The Torbeg Cursus dates back to between 4000 and 3000 BCE and is 1.1 kilometres in length. Its width varies throughout its length, measuring between 30 and 40 metres, and it's thought that the banks on either side were once a huge 1 metre in height. So constructing it would have been a big project, just as we find with many other ancient monuments. Like other Cursuses, it's located close to megalithic structures, with the Machrie Moor stone circles being close by. Although interestingly, evidence points towards the Cursus being older than the stone circles. Archaeologists think Cursuses probably acted as some sort of ceremonial walkways. The Isle of Arran has been inhabited since the early Neolithic, and there are many other ancient sites there, including a fairly intense concentration of megalithic cairns. In Britain, other good examples of Neolithic Cursuses include the Stonehenge Cursus, which was around 3 kilometres long and between 100 and 150 metres wide, and the Dorset Cursus, which, at 10 kilometres in length, is the longest one discovered so far. Rather intriguingly, there are 4 Cursuses close to the Rudston Monolith in Yorkshire, all running in different directions, but ending up at or close to the megalith, which is the largest standing stone in Britain. What I find most interesting about Cursuses is that they are enclosed at their terminal ends by banks. So if they were ceremonial walkways, they weren't actually going from one place to another. They were more like long, narrow stadiums where something took place. A cursus isn't the same as an avenue. Stonehenge had an avenue that connected it to the River Avon, but the remains of the Stonehenge cursus are actually some way to the north. It's also worth mentioning again that cursuses tend to predate the megalithic monuments that are found in their vicinity. However, megalithic structures are often built on sites that were in use earlier, so the cursuses could still have been created as part of a ritual landscape which evolved to include stone monuments at a later date. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Archaeologists continue search for Cleopatra's tomb off the coast of Taposiris Magna. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know that for the better part of 20 years, a team of archaeologists led by Kathleen Martinez from the University of Santo Domingo have been searching for the lost tombs of Anthony and Cleopatra at Taposiris Magna in Egypt. The site is 200 kilometers west of Cairo and was officially established by Ptolemy II Philadelphus in the 3rd century BCE, but was probably in use prior to that. Ancient writers thought that Alexander the Great stopped there on the way to the Siwa oasis. Excavations have revealed various buildings, a necropolis, and numerous artifacts, with the most notable structures being a tower, the purpose of which is unknown, and a temple dedicated to Osiris. Martinez was drawn to the site in her search for the tombs because of several factors, one of which is the temple's dedication to Osiris. During their lifetimes, Anthony and Cleopatra were often identified as the earthly incarnations of Osiris and Isis. Last year, Martinez and her team found a tunnel at a depth of 13 meters and stretching for more than 1 kilometer, as well as other sunken structures, 3 sanctuaries, a sacred lake, and plenty of artifacts. Due to seismic activity over the years, part of the tunnel is submerged into the Mediterranean Sea. The latest expedition is exploring this underwater section of the tunnel, a structure that could be the final resting place of Anthony and Cleopatra. I find this latest news story a bit misleading because when the tunnel was found last year, most articles discussed the way it was engineered and how it had been used to transport water. In fact, it's very similar to the tunnel of Eupalinos in Greece, which was used for that purpose. The information isn't very clear at all, but I assume that the tunnel leads to other submerged buildings and it is there that a tomb might be expected to be found. Or alternatively, the water tunnel isn't actually a water tunnel. We'll have to wait and see. Unusual figurines found at the Ulucak Mound in Turkey. Archaeologists working at the site of Ulucak Mound in the Izmir province of Turkey have discovered 2 figurines that are thought to depict a male-female pair holding a baby and a child. Ulucak Mound is a Neolithic settlement which dates back to 6800 BCE and has been under excavation since 2009. Made of baked clay, the figurines were found in an ancient storage space and date back to 5700 BCE. They are different to any other anthropomorphic figurines discovered so far at Ulucak Mound, especially with regards to their headwear. Ulucak Mound was home to some of the earliest farmers in the Aegean and was inhabited for more than 1000 years. It was then reused during the Roman-Byzantine period. Excavations have revealed 7 strata: Early Neolithic, Late Neolithic, Early Chalcolithic, Late Chalcolithic, Early Bronze Age, and Roman Byzantine. Remains of Neolithic domestic dwellings have been found, including painted floors and walls. The discovery of silos containing wheat and barley, as well as the discovery of animal bones, have shed light on the diet of the ancient inhabitants of the site. Archaeologists have also uncovered kilns, ovens, ceramic pots, including those with anthropomorphic designs, seals, spindle wheels, loom weights, tools, and weapons. The head of the excavation thinks that Ulucak Mound was an important textile centre. In 2022, a goddess figurine was found there, which is considerably different in appearance to the latest finds. That's it. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you don't already. Thank you to my patrons and channel members for supporting me, and I'll see you next time.